What's going on, everybody? I hope you're all having a fantastic day. Now, today I wanted to sit down and rank the 4 newly buffed May champions. So these are Vulture, Black Panther Classic, Odin, and Mr. Fantastic. So this is going to be a ranking based on how good they got, like how much they improved, not how, like, the ranking of the best champion. So it's based off improvement, not quality of champion. There's no that criteria going in. No, it's still my opinion. It's just a ranking, so all of you can have different opinions, and I love reading them below. So I'm going to get into it. And coming in at last place is actually going to be Mr. Fantastic. Now let me find him right here. Now, let's be honest. Mr. Fantastic got a really good buff. His damage is almost doubled now. He's really fun to play. He's almost like a Void-esque character. But since I'm ranking this off of how much they improved, I would have said that Mr. Fantastic was the best champion out of all of these guys before they got buffed. So seeing as his improvement was still really good, it wasn't the greatest overall improvement. Now, I love seeing those 30k mediums on him instead of the 15k mediums. It's a great damage boost. But in all honesty, he didn't get the most significant change. It's not like completely game changing. He could still be used to solo abyss fights before, and now I can just do it faster. So it was a great value rework, don't get me wrong. I love his buff, what they did with him, but it wasn't the most changing overall. Like, it didn't change the base of what he can do. So number 4 is Mr. Fantastic, but that's not to knock his buff at all. I love what they did with him. So now at number 3 is going to be the most controversial one, I feel like, and that's Black Panther Classic. So Black Panther Classic got a very different rework from all of them. You have to rely on a very aggressive gameplay, and you have to intercept, sometimes finish your combos midway through just to get your charges up and then enter Panther's Might. So it's very strange to play him, and when you're playing him, it doesn't feel like you're doing a lot of damage, but I've actually learned that you are, in reality, doing a lot of damage. Like, Vega235 ranked up his Black Panther to rank 3. You saw him just heart my comment 5 seconds ago. He did some rank 3 gameplay, and when I was testing it myself, I was like, I don't know, this guy didn't really get that much better. But he soloed Abyss, or no, not Abyss. He soloed Labyrinth of Legends Red Hulk in 87 hits. So it's really about luck with Black Panther on how the opponent is playing. Realm of Legends is definitely not his ideal place. But when the bleeds and the crits stack up with your intercepts, it really becomes very fun to play him, and he is a great champion, and he got that rework. So I'd say he improved very much from his base because he doesn't absolutely need synergies, but they do help a lot. And the only reason he isn't higher is because before you could use synergies to make him very good, and the improvement from that to this is still vast, but I don't think it's as big as the other 2 champions. So I'm not knocking this rework at all. It's another one that I love. These are all very close in the list, and you could switch them easily around and make any argument. But for me, I just don't see the biggest increase with Black Panther compared to the other 2 at the top. So number 3 is Black Panther, but I really like the rework overall. Now, in number 2, this might surprise a bunch of you, but I put Odin. So where's my 3-star Odin? There he is. So the thing is, Odin was okay before in the terms that his first fight was okay, you had some solid damage, not crazy or anything, but outside of that first fight, he was awful. His Odin sleep mechanic was genuinely terrible. I don't know why they ever had it in the game, and then this rework changes that, so it makes him a pretty good champion in the first fight to a great champion in the first fight because of the damage increase, and then it turns him from an awful champion in the second fight to still a great champion in the second fight with this buff. So overall, he received a great improvement in himself. So whereas Black Panther and Mr. Fantastic are still viable before with synergies and viable even more now, Odin wasn't really viable before, but now he is very viable because I know KT1 just did a damage comparison between the pre-buff and post-buff Odin, and you can see how much more potent he is, and he doesn't really need synergy. So I think this is a really, really good buff just for values. He finally feels not like the Odin he should be, but he still feels much better to play now, much more damage, much more reliability because you don't have to worry about skipping a fight with him. You can actually use him for the whole quest. So I think it was a very significant tune-up and one that isn't getting looked at as much as it should. So number 2, I have Odin. And then I don't think there's a lot of debate with this one because the champion that easily became the most improved is Vulture. Vulture was virtually a useless champion before. I know there was a fair like cult following of Vulture because he was just fun to play, which I respect. Like, he was definitely cool and all, but now he's so interesting and so cool. And Karate Mike put a video out yesterday just showing how much damage he can do. It's really crazy. I very much enjoy this rework, and I want to rank up the 5-star, but I have to wait to do some of my other tech rank ups first, like Hulkbuster. So I still love this rework though. So with the heavy attacks, you finally get some damage out of Vulture. I think he was hitting for 11k mediums in the video, and his Jatari charges work very differently now, so you can actually lock heavies in the corner, because every time you land a crit you get some, but landing the heavy expends a few. So it's a very interesting cycle, and then once you throw off a special too, it's so much power control. I know that when you have a lot of power on them, you can start power burning, which is where a huge amount of his damage comes from. But even if they're at like no bars of power, you can keep them just completely locked away from power. So it's very unique power control and very effective power control that also has some nice damage alongside of it. So I really do think this Vulture buff is the best. He's even more of a good Havoc counter now because he had the armor up before, but he just didn't have the damage to take Havocs down. But now he has that. So from going from a useless champion to a very good champion who might even crack top 10 tech champions, I think that easily deserves #1 most improved and the best rework / buff of this month. So let me know what you guys think of this video in the comments below. I'd love to hear who you think's the best and why. I love hearing all your opinions. And feel free to subscribe. Remember, it's not required. Your viewership means a lot to me. And before I go, I just want to say thank you for 50 subscribers. We hit it earlier today, and it truly means a lot to me that just 50 of you are willing to stop by and watch these videos. So thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.